Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by again and checking out what we're doing. It's a beautiful morning. It's nice and cool. It's supposed to be 81 today, so I want to get out and get some things done while it's still morning time and a little bit cooler. I already went and cleaned up my pile of firewood that I cut from the brush that we moved the other day on my last video. And today I'm gonna go down. I piled up some limbs to chip, and I emptied out my other chip boxes and brought them down. So I think I got about a box full of limbs stacked up there once I get the chipper down and start chipping. So I got the Coyote warming up and got the Titan chipper on board, and we're gonna do some quick chipping. And I know you've seen some of that before, so I'm going to try to make it interesting, but in some ways it'll be more of the same. And I've learned a few things along the way, but like I say, the chipper's all set up, ready to go. Just wait for the Coyote to warm up a little bit. We'll get down to the meadow and chip up some limbs real quick. So thanks for stopping by. Enjoy. All right, guys, so I put wood underneath the chipper when it's not going to sit mostly flat for the PTO. I like to see kind of a horizontal run. I think it is better for the machine. I know it has some articulation that's available, but I don't like it when the PTO shaft's bent way over. Maybe people might say it makes no difference, but it makes me feel better to know that the machine's sitting flat. All right, guys, so that's a wrap on that box of chips. And like I said earlier, I had some limbs stacked up here. That's definitely a pointer, is get those limbs stacked up and kind of feedable as far as, you know, lengths and cut to manageable sizes. And then it's lickety split filling a box like this. I did have that one little jam. Probably could have fed that better, but like I say, it goes really quick doing it that way. The other suggestion I would make is make sure that your chute is pointed downwind. That'll keep less debris and everything else off of you and the tractor and so on. But yeah, that's a wrap for this box. I'm gonna pick it up and probably go dump it in one of the many places that I wouldn't mind having some cedar chips. And one less branch pile here. Obviously, more to come. All right, guys, so kind of winding down on the video here, but something occurred to me. If you've been following the channel, you know I'm trying to create this park atmosphere on this hill that was basically all brush and overgrown when I started. I have been doing these brush piles, and I've been raking the hill and whatnot, but you know, you can't rake everything. There's always going to be stuff left over. But it occurred to me that I can actually, since I'm mobile with the chipper, I can actually just drive through here, stop periodically, pick up a few handful of branches, throw them in there, and leave these little chip piles, and then move on to the next spot. And so that's what I've been doing. But you know, best intentions, pretty small. I think it's a cedar limb. Ended up shearing off the bolt on the PTO shaft. So I thought, what the heck, be a good opportunity to go over that. I think I have in the past, but just show it to you and show you what's involved in getting that switched out. So here we go. All right, like I mentioned, I've just been kind of going down the hill here, picking up random branches and making these little chip piles. I figure they can just mulch in the ground, or I can come by with a wheelbarrow or the bucket and pick them up. But in the meantime, I did break a shear pin. So I'll show you the limb that did it. I haven't pulled it out yet. It's just that little cedar limb right there. And I don't know if it's just the way it was caught. The limbs I was putting in were much bigger than that. But either just the size of it, it's stuck. Just the size of it, or the angle that it goes in can sometimes be all it takes. So we're out of business because PTO's turning on the tractor, but the blade's no longer moving. You can see the bolts down there broken off. So we're gonna go ahead and swap that out, and also open this up and see if I can get that piece of wood out of there, obviously. All right, guys, so there's the broken shear bolt, and there's my new one. I just keep them up here in my toolbox, and that way I'm ready to go. This blade was completely locked on that piece of wood. Ultimately, I ended up having to open up the wheel here and basically give that end of it a swift kick and break the piece of wood loose from the blade. Now I gotta see if I can pull it out. Yeah, so there it is. Pretty small piece, but you could see, since it fed diagonally like that and it's super dry, you know, it's going to equate out to a bigger diameter. So that's all it took. Now I could probably throw this right back in when it's running. It would probably go right through, but I don't know if I'll do that. Might end up in the burn pile. But anyway, that's what happened there. Now we're just going to go ahead and replace the shear pin, and I'll probably go ahead and clean off the cedar bark and whatnot on the blades. If I didn't mention it before, one of my viewers told me a good way to keep the blades from getting gummed up is to spray them with WD-40. And I've done that the last couple times, and it does seem like it helps quite a bit. So, all right, so I'm gonna see if I can get this lined up and also show you what I'm doing at the same time, which might be kind of tricky. You can see, I guess you can't see, but the wheel's moving. The wheel's movable, obviously, because it's not connected to the PTO anymore. But there's also brush in there, so I'm gonna have to clear some of the brush out before it'll turn enough to get that lined up. So, or I guess all right, so there you have it. We're back in business. We can keep going and pull on through here. My wife, of course, just left, and before she left, she said, maybe you shouldn't be doing that chipping stuff while nobody else is home. I was like, whatever. And of course, break a shear bolt right away. So who knows what could happen. Maybe I will go on to a safer project. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. I hope this was helpful and enjoyable, and take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you soon.